Imagine that. Imagine that. I was talking for how many minutes? For almost 10 minutes without realizing that I was not going anywhere. I'm not speaking to anyone. I do apologize to everyone. I don't know what happened there. Let's go back to the beginning. Oh my days. Thank you for everyone who has patiently waited for me to correct the situation with the sound. All right. So, what I was saying was, oh no, not another one. At this point, the Sentebale board of trustees has got more exits than a Beyonce concert parking lot. um, Welcome to the Isabella Banks YouTube channel. As always, it is a pleasure to be here with you this evening. I am Wheezy, and yeah, join me. Let's have fun discussing the royal news. All right. And I was saying that there's so much going on at the moment from um Meghan, and at this point we should just be calling her Megan because she's like one of those supermodels that just uses a single name, Megan. Like when you're talking about Iman, for instance, or even Beyonce. At this point, Megan is that famous that she doesn't even need a second name, not to talk about needing a title. um Anyway, you guys know that she has dropped the latest episode of her podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, and this time it was with Jamie Kern Lima, the powerhouse behind It Cosmetics, who went from Denny's waitress to selling her company for over $1 billion. Talk about the American dream. Hmm. Talk about the American dream. Now, while the girls were talking foundation and faith, the British tabloids were having another foundation collapse. This time it was because Meghan's card to Jamie, who she just had the podcast exchange with, collaboration with, was signed HRH, the Duchess of Sussex. And I was saying, this is disheartening, but we are not disheartened. We move past this latest fake outrage because we know this is not about the title. And I say disheartening just because they keep on going on and on and on. We're looking for ways to attack her with. Um, but also say not disheartened because Megan is getting stronger and stronger as the days go by. So as the day goes by, um, they can keep doing what they're doing. She is going to get stronger than she has ever been, and to the point where it doesn't matter anymore. Before we dive into this royal mess, do your girl a solid, hit the subscribe button if you love a little truth with your tea, and don't forget to ding that bell because the Palace PR machine doesn't rest, as we could see with the so-called 14th wedding anniversary pictures. But also because we're here talking and defending Meghan and Harry, we don't rest either. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Even though the video today is a bit chaotic, but with you usually a bit more together than this. Now, while Meghan was serving inspiration on her podcast, guess who was serving legal paperwork? Gordon Brown. Yes. So, as you can, if you have been following this case, you would know that he is reading the tea leaves. You can see that they are laying the groundwork for Prince Harry's case coming up in 2026 with against Daily Mail. So this Gordon Brown, for those people who don't know, he is the UK's former prime minister. He's got eyebrows of fury, is the way they describe him, but he has filed a criminal complaint against Murdoch Industries. And this was reported on Saturday. So you guys remember that after Prince Harry's case against the Mirror and the case against the Sun, both times Prince Harry and all the co-complainants, of which Gordon Brown was one of them, did appeal to the government to initiate a criminal investigation against the Murdoch Industries. So now it looks like they have waited for the government to do something. They're not doing anything about it. So he on his own has instituted criminal proceedings against Murdoch Enterprises. But we're not going to go into the full details of that conversation today, but it's just one of those very interesting things that happened today. The next interesting thing that happened today was oh, do you know what? When I think about all the things, because I look at the news on a daily basis and I kind of read the patterns, and to me, it kind of feels like the Royal Avengers are assembling. Meghan is out here with her mic, gaining her power back. This is the reason why I have her on the screen looking beautiful. And also, you got Harry out here continuing to network with the power brokers in America. And we're hearing now that Gordon Brown is out here like the angry granddad who finally had enough of Rupert Murdoch's nonsense and is just busy telling them, get your act together. And somewhere, Piers Morgan is probably sweating through his fourth shirt of the day. Anyway, on to the real reason why we're here today. Sentebale, the boardroom that is looking like surviving. I think if we are going to give this, let's assume it was a reality show and you will give it a name, it will be Surviving Sophie. And who's left standing at this point? Not Nerissa Naidu, the lady on the screen. She quietly resigned from um, Sentebale on the 14th of April, which was about 2 weeks ago. No announcement, nothing. They finding a way to keep it hidden. Now, listen, when you join a charity and you bounce quicker than a bad date, that is not a good sign, especially when your colleague, Dr. Margaret Iqbal, she also dipped after 6 days on the board. Yeah. So, if nothing else, that's a great sign that it is Sophie who is the problem. I know from how things happened, it is quite obvious that Sophie is the problem. That's not what I'm talking about now. I'm also talking about her management style. She can't seem to keep the people who are supposed to be supporting her with her. So I thought to myself, okay, now that everybody is leaving, how are they making decisions? Is Sentebale still functioning? So I went to check the Charity Commission rules like a nosy neighbor that I am. And it told me that a charity needs a quorum, that is, the legal number of trustees required to make decisions. That is usually two or more. But at this rate, Sensibali's quorum might just be whoever shows up and doesn't immediately quit. Because the narrative around the charity at the moment must be very toxic. Trying for some Sophie as a chairperson, trying to move the charity forward, even though she feels like she's within her right to do so. But for her trying to move the charity forward forcefully in her own in to follow her own vision as opposed to the vision of the charity, the reason why the charity was set up in the first place. And the fact that you've got trustees resigning from the board left and right just goes to tell you that that's a very fair indication that what those people who stepped down, the trustees who stepped down initially were saying about her is true, that her style is very dictatorial. And I'm sure she wasn't a pleasure to work with. And she would be worse after the conflict because there's guilty conscience, there's so many things, That she will be trying really hard to force her way through, looking for the kind of respect that Prince Harry had in the charity and not be able to find it. So yeah, that is right now the board is giving revolving door energy and not the luxury hotel kind. Oh, let's not forget the Charity Commission investigation is still going on. Um, I wanted to find out whether there was any update. So I went over to the charity board's website and I said, "What's going on here? Give me the tea." So you guys remember that they opened the regulatory compliance case back in March and they haven't issued a verdict yet. But let me tell you, the writing is on the palace walls. If you've got this many resignations and whispers of mismanagement, somebody is playing chess with no board. And the very fact you've got these trustees resigning left and right is a very fair indication that they have not been able to respond to the questions that the charity board is asking. And there seems like they are finally realizing their mistakes. And I want to give them the benefit of doubt and say that they were mostly lied to by Sophie and they have gone in now and they realize that actually, things are not the way you said that they are. You should have just left this alone. So, right now, in order for the charity to be able to make decisions, they need two trustees. Right now, they've only got three. So if the last trustee resigns, that's it. The charity will have to close down until they can get more trustees on board or they return the charity to Prince Harry. But I think that is karma. It's karma just done a it's karma. It's just done a full circle. It's boomeranged right back, but it's not done. It's still working its way through. Anyway, so to recap, this is not a long one as usual. Meghan's glowing. Harry's preparing for war. This is one of the reasons why we're probably not hearing that much from him. He's busy working on his job or his jobs, shall we say. And also preparing for one of the biggest cases that we will have next year against the Daily Mail. And Sentebale, phew, they need a group hug at Sentebale. Honestly, there's so much trauma there. A new chair, and they probably also need an exorcism right now at Sentebale. What do you guys think will be the outcome of the investigation? Do you think that Sophie will outlast the conflict? I see her trying to hand Sentebale back to Prince Harry and asking for trying to negotiate for peace, because we all know that when Prince Harry has you in his sights, he will go all the way until he gets what he needs out of the situation to feel like he has achieved retribution. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you this evening. Apologies for the clumsy beginning of the video. Um, I really don't understand the reason why the volume was misbehaving, but thanks for your patience. If you are loving the way we break this down, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell because you know Royal Rumble Part 2 in the form of Prince Harry's case against Daily Mail is on its way. And I am going to be here to break it all down so that we are on board, we are current. Um, Guys, I forgot to introduce to you our newest and latest moderator, Kali Jen. Everyone say hello to Kali Jen in the chat if you would, please. And before I sign off, let me have a look at your comments in the chat. Kali says, if Sophie registered a phony company in Delaware in order to commit fraud allegedly elsewhere, The Delaware Department of Justice should be informed. I agree. Sophie should not be in charge while the investigation is on, especially since she's not focusing on the HIV/AIDS help the children in need. She has completely wiped out the HIV/AIDS objective from the company house documents registering Sentebale. So the plan is, although she doesn't say climate change or environmental things of that nature, but yeah, she is definitely doing her best to redirect the purpose of Sentebale. I feel like she shouldn't be there as well. I feel like it's a conflict of interest. So I don't know how they are dealing with that at this point in time. Lorna says, I have a feeling the trustees that resigned are going to turn a dime on Sophie when the charity investigation gets going. I feel that it's already begun. And this is the reason why they are suddenly realizing, oh no, this is not what we thought it was. So, yeah, I feel like they have already begun the investigation. I checked into how long the investigation will take, and they said that if it was just a simple issue that needed to be cleared up, it would take a maximum of 2 weeks. But for something as messy as this, where they're going to be doing an investigation into past and present trustees, is going to literally take them months, a few months to clear up all the issues. So we might have to be patient and just wait for what the Charity Commission's investigation has to say when they're done with the investigation. But it's quite interesting to see that she is not able to hold on to the trustees who she quickly brought in to replace the trustees who were already on the board at the time that the conflict occurred. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really apologize again. I'll speak to you again next time. This is Wizzy signing out. Bye.